Good morning. My name is Scott Murray. I'm an organic farmer in Vista, California. So, step by step, how can we grow avocados? These are avocado seedlings. They're grafted onto a root stock made special variety Zutano, which makes the strongest roots. And then there's graft right here. And this is the top stalk. And the next step is to plant them in 3-gallon pots to give them about a year's growth to get to be a bigger tree. They like to be planted in a mixed soil that will support them. And sometimes in pots, people put too dense of a soil that's very heavy, and that makes it hard for the roots to penetrate. More and more, we're seeing trees being grown in a very loose mulch-like mix. Everything likes to have a comfortable and supportive environment for the growing phase. And this shade house will be their structure for about 6 to 8 months before they're ready to then go be planted out in the field. We very rarely get frost in the avocado zone here in San Diego County. The last time was in 1962. We had a hard freeze and we lost a lot of avocado trees. So that's one of the concerns, is where we place them. We want to be on a high spot where there's great air drainage so the cold air can drain off. We water them right on the surface with a micro sprinkler, and we can adjust it pretty well. This is a data logger that reports via cellular signal, and it has 4 different sensors in the ground that it reports. We use the water sensors to tell us when we've filled up the water profile, and that gives us feedback. So really hot weather, it'll take more because it dries out faster, and cooler weather, oh, we have a lot of moisture, let's add just a little bit more. So we want to make sure we have 12 inches of water, but we also test down at 18 inches to see, oh, okay, we've put plenty of water in, we don't need to go further. Coffee and avocados both don't really like the heavy salts of our water. So we can treat the water to reduce the salts, makes them a little happier. We feed through the liquid system, but we also sometimes feed compost on the soil because that stimulates the soil in an even more amazing way. This is one of my favorite things, the dosatron. When we go to inject, they have the barrel there. We mix a concentrate, put the barrel under it, drop the hose in the barrel, and this can be set to apply different proportions of that concentrate, and we can feed every one of the blocks on the farm. Coffee and avocados both are acid-loving chemistry, and they love the same things. Right now we're using a concentrated fertilizer that comes in a pallet bottle, 330 gallons at a time. It's a fertilizer made by the True Company, and it's a 413. And so we use that concentrate, then we have our mixing barrels. We probably put 5 gallons of concentrate in a mixing barrel with 50 gallons of water to make a 10% solution, and then that is flooded through the irrigation system. So one of the big challenges is weeds. Whenever we put water out, we get weeds. So we do a lot of weed control with mulch. We very heavily mulch this whole grove, plus we have to do a lot of weed whacker work. So we do it with mulch and manual. A little bit of cultivation. Pruning is also a big part, as you see. So we generally prune them in the spring after we harvest the fruit. When avocado trees get really old and really tall, the production shuts down. They can live and be productive for 50 years, but we have to work them to keep them productive. So these we'll schedule and cut them back either to stump or to scaffold, which is about 10 to 12 feet, but keeps fruiting wood for the next year rather than going completely dormant. This is one of our examples of an old, weak avocado tree. This one hasn't been pruned for about 15 years, about 10 to 15 years. So the foliage is getting weak and the fruit are very small, and that's not saleable size. But when we've cut them back and we keep them pruned, then we get larger fruit. We start to harvest the fruit here late December in through January all the way till July or August. But this is about a 4-ounce fruit. We want to get to 8-ounce fruit for the optimum. The flowers of avocados open as one sex in the morning and change sex at midday. So the A-type fruit opens as a female in the morning, and you have to have a B-type fruit that opens as a male in the morning to get effective pollination. And in the afternoon, it flips the other way. Many of our growers are not growing enough pollinators. The scientific research says we should have 10% pollinator trees in every grove. Hass fruit are A-type pollen, and Fuerte, as an example, are B-type pollen. I've been encouraging my growers to think about, let's go back to more varieties. One problem is Hass is being noted as not temperature tolerant for our increasing heat here in California, and it's 89% of our crop. So one of the things I'm looking at is fruits that are more tolerant in the heat, and also different fruits. Like I have collected a one-off seedling tree that produces a avocado that's the size of an NFL football. And it's as good as a Hass. The fruit is incredible. And you know, you wouldn't sell very many of those at a supermarket, but you could sell those to chefs. I have 20 varieties in here. A few of them are like classics, like there's Fuerte for a pollinator, but it's also a very good variety. Fuerte's been always a great one, but now, for example, Kona Charwell is a B-type flowering avocado that looks just like a Hass fruit. So it doesn't even have to be different. It just has to be a pollinator for the Hass. Some pretty nice looking avocados.